Hello everybody, what's going on? My name is Sir Medieval and today we're going to be playing some Pine. This is a adventure RPG. If you haven't heard of it already, it's already on Steam at the moment. Being developed, sorry that kind of distracted me. It's being developed by Twirlbound and published by none other than Kongregate, which was surprising to me because I used to play their Flash games on their website all the time. That looks kind of cool. But this is a RPG that's very similar to like Lord of the Rings. Oh wait, I almost said Lord of the Rings. I mean Zelda, Breath of the Wild, something like that, or maybe even a little bit of Fable. But essentially in this game, if these guys will just stop doing that, the aim of the game is basically when you get dropped into the world, you play as the character called Hugh, this guy right here. And your goal is to find items, like gather up stuff from out and about in the world, hunt animals, to get items from them and things of that nature. And you can also either ally or attack villages like this. Now these villages are owned by different species. This one would be the frog species or toad species, whatever you want to call them. And I'm actually aggressive with them, as you can clearly see right now. But I have allied with one village already called the Crocker Village. And those are kind of like the alligator type monsters, or creatures rather, that are mutated into being something else. Like they're crocodiles that can basically walk. But in this game, essentially, the combat system is very action-based, pretty fast-paced. It's actually kind of difficult starting out to get used to the combat. You do have to lock on to enemies to have the ability to know where you're attacking, but sometimes that doesn't work too well. So my goal here is I need to attack this village because there's an awful lot of resources to be had in here. And I just so happen to bring a crocker flare with me. So you're going to see some of these crocodiles right now. I've just got to call in the reinforcements, and I think we will have this underway. This looks to be a very, very big village, so we're going to need some help here for sure. First thing, I'm going to go ahead and set up the flare, and they've been called. Now we need to wait for the reinforcements to arrive. Let's go ahead and back off just a little bit.
Now, I don't know how many there will be, but I feel like there's going to be at least 4 of them. 4 to 6. They should be arriving any minute now, hopefully. Oh, one thing I don't know is if they're at war with these frogs, or toads. I hope they are, but there's actually a diplomacy system, and you can actually influence that with your actions. So you can actually get treaties, give these villages to have them ally or go to war with these other factions.
There they come. Oh, they brought a lot in here. Holy crap. Look at these guys. They're ready to go. Time to party, my friends. It's time to party. All right. So this is the trader right here. Now, if we were allied with these toads, we would be able to trade with them. But since we're not, you know what we have to do from there. Okay. Let's go ahead and loot them. Ow. I don't have any food on me right now. Oh, actually, I do. So I'm just going to go ahead and start using this because we need to heal up. We need to help them out. Okay, you are able to parry these attacks as well. So story-wise, the story basically goes that you're trying to survive in the world. You're trying to figure out exactly what happened to the humans because they're kind of a race that at the moment isn't really doing too hot. You live in unstable mountainous terrain, and there's a lot of different landslides and things of that nature that end up happening there. So not a lot of stuff that's good to say about the mountains that you live in as a human. I don't think so. I missed that so hard. Oh, he got me. Come on. I got him. Luckily, we're not hitting each other, which is great. When you're out and about in the world and you try fighting alongside these creatures that you're allied with, most of the time, they're going to hit you, which sucks. Right now, though, like we're doing okay. Also, I turned the volume down because I wasn't sure if you'd be able to hear me or not right now. To dodge that. Okay. Ow. All right, buddy. They're actually doing really good in here. Most of them are still alive. That's why I love the Crockers. Now we're going to take over this village together. As you can see, the zooming is kind of bugged out a little bit. Oh! Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. Well, that was a parry right there, like I was talking about. I guess you can still hit him with that. Why am I able to hit that guy? Okay, so what's going to happen is basically once we finish taking over this village, they're going to tear down the rest of these buildings and they're going to put up their own. So let's go ahead and get all these resources here before we lose out on any of them. Probably shouldn't lose any, but you never know, just in case. All right, so they sent over their soldiers and now we're taking everything out. Only about 3 more, it looks like. Ah. Get him. Ow. I think that's the one that I keep hitting accidentally. I'm going to stay away from that guy. Like we got a raider token in there. Got ourselves a whammy. Get him. Okay. Yeah. I got him, guys. Got this one too. And actually right now what I'm doing is story-wise I'm learning about what's called the blunder. Yeah, some of these guys are not fully allied, so that's the thing. Definitely want to prevent killing that guy. Thanks, dude. And now the transformation begins. So cool. Oh, I think he's still pissed at me. Okay, ow. Relax. Watch out for that one. Okay, hold on. Let me just... Oh, crap. Pouch is full. Just get away from this guy. The bad part is I was planning on going back to their village and taking them some materials, but this guy's being difficult right now. Okay, so I need to stock up on some materials. Let's go ahead and take out some of these. Well, here, let's do some crafting. Show you how that works. So in this game, whenever you, of course, have the ability to gather materials or fight to get them from different creatures and things of that nature, you can go into this menu to craft. Now, the recipes you do get in certain ways. You can either get them from allying with certain villages. Like if you ally with the Crockers, they have different types of equipment that you can learn from their traders. And you have to trade them resources to get these recipes. But you have to be at the allied status before they'll even trade with you. So right now, there's also a mountainous people. They're kind of like pretty much elks. And I'm trying to get their Warhammer recipe, which is basically like a one-handed Warhammer that you have the ability to get from them. So with that one, I have to be at the allied status with them. So that clearly has not happened yet. So the work in progress. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so now I can focus a little bit more on crafting. Now, I did actually learn a recipe recently, the skull horns. That's the one I was looking for. So for this one, I have enough crass bones now. I just need more stiff rope just to stock up on that stuff, but mainly just need the leather and the tooth stones. Now, the travel kits you can actually make. There is fast travel in the game, but you have to actually craft the items to get it. So the travel kit is one of the things that I really don't want to have to take this guy out, but he's kind of pushing it. Okay. I don't want to do this. This is on you. Uh-oh. Get him. Yeah. Okay, so apparently he counted towards that for some reason, which is odd. But okay, I'll take it. So now, as you can see, the full transformation has begun. They are now allied with us. Thanks, guys. So it looks like they've assimilated themselves into the village. And then as time goes on, the village will actually expand itself. However, villages do have a chance of being taken over by the enemy as well. The thing is, the world around you kind of progresses no matter what. So even if you don't do anything, people are still going to continue to raid villages. Like these actual creatures will do that themselves. They'll raid different villages and take them over. They'll expand their own villages. And also on top of that, if you do want to influence that kind of thing, you can either by going into these villages and directly fighting them like I did, or you can do like espionage based stuff where you can actually send them poisoned food and things of that nature to kind of whittle them down. Or even set up a bunch of traps in their villages and then just kind of set them all off and watch everybody go down. But this is the alliance board that you could see. It's the diplomacy board technically, but you can see that with this faction, for instance, they're actually in the red, which means they're at war with them. The one on the far left, this is green, so that means they're allied with them. That's the mountainous tribe that I was talking about. Third one looks like they're neutral for the white. So basically whenever they see them in the open world, they won't fight them and they won't help them. And then the last one, of course, means they're at war. Now, alongside these factions themselves, there are also creatures in the open world that you can both fight and that you can both hunt. Now, when it comes to those ones, they're a different story because they will actually fight against these tribes just like they will fight each other. But, of course, if it's a specific creature that is aggressive, it'll also fight against you too. So that's the only thing to worry about. But it is very useful when you find these creatures in the open world, or these animals rather, in the open world, and you're in need of some help. If you bring them into a pack of mobs or something like that, it'll be a little bit of room to breathe, I guess you could say. So right now I've got a couple raider tokens, and you can actually turn these tokens that you find off of the animals themselves into other things like efficiency plans, which you can then donate those efficiency plans. They look like scrolls. You can donate them to villages so that they can have an easier time expanding. In terms of actually getting more tools of the trade and stuff like that, you can actually get different kinds of tools like that. And you have to do what's called vault hunting. So there's basically vaults that are puzzle-based dungeons that you have to go through, and at the end of them usually you'll unlock rewards like these things, and it actually is usable in the open world, so I'm able to stun mobs with that kind of thing, or I can actually activate certain treasure locations in the world too. That one might be one that I can go into now that I think about it. But let's go down there. I think I see a little bit of those elks that I was talking about. Let's see if I can find a safe way down. Water would definitely count. Yeah, that's those are the elk people, the elk tribe. So it's a really good thing we found them, because actually I was already aware of this one. I just didn't notice I was at this location on the map. But they are allied with the Crockers up here, so they'll probably have some really good times on their hands for sure. You can also get these totems that the one that I summoned back at the village is one of them. Oh, hold on, let me hunt these guys. Sorry, buddies. I don't think so. Let me go ahead and equip the bow. Had to take them out. Now, the Crockers also will have the ability to give you some really, really good bows, I've heard. There's a... I don't know what kind of star it is, like the rating of the bow itself, but I've heard that there's a really good bow they can get you when you get to a certain status with them, or get to a certain village, rather. I have yet to find out which village this is that they speak of, but it's something I definitely have to look out for. Now, your inventory kind of does start out pretty small. Actually, inventory size starts at about half this size, and it's really difficult to work with at first, I'll be honest. But you can actually find these blue orbs out in the world that allow you to expand it. You have to go to a guy named Grob. As you can see, my quest tracker, I have a quest for him specifically too. And it looks like I can get some of this leather. But once you take those to Grob, he can expand your inventory for you. Go ahead and... I don't know, let's drop some of this something. Gobbledew essence. I have a very strong feeling I'm not going to need that Crocker essence, but when have I ever used moral hay? I don't think I've had use for that, like, at all. But I think I know where to find it if I need it. I just probably don't need it right at this moment. Now, explosive kegs would be kind of cool to have, but it looks like I can't make that right now. I guess I'll go ahead and just drop some of this stuff here. Let's go ahead and drop some of the dull rock. Even though that stuff is really good to have, of course, for arrows, I need the leather. Okay, so back to the task at hand. I wanted to go down here. I just need to find a safer way down. Looks kind of okay. Not really. We're gonna need full health for this just in case. Ow. Okay. When in doubt, jump right down. Oh, there was a stair. Okay, okay. Well, nobody saw that. But I will say though, graphically, it looks very satisfying. I like the art style of this. It does remind me of Breath of the Wild quite a bit. And it looks like in the swamp, this might be a good area to find toothstones. I just found one back there and it looks like another one's right here too. This is going to be very good because I believe that's the last thing I need for this Skullhorn piece of equipment. So it'll be good for us to share this journey together. We just need to find one more. And also the blue orbs that I was talking about would be found on a pedestal like this, and they're located out in the world in many different locations. Now, where is that last one? I think I see it right there. There it is. Perfect. Okay, so now I can craft this Skullhorn helmet. Put that bad boy on. Looking good. So now, what did that say? Bone gear set. So I get a damage ratio bonus and a melee damage bonus as well. Didn't even see that before. That's going to be very useful though. So now my hue doesn't look like so much of a hue anymore. But as I said before, you do not have a character creation thing or anything like that. You do start out as Hugh. You have to play as him as well. I can eat that one. What is that? A lot of different things to explore in the game. I just saw something. I could have sworn I saw something on this rock. I feel like this is something you can break into. Maybe not. My imagination, maybe. I know I saw something there, though. Some kind of reflection of light, maybe. This is one of the towers that I've seen. It looks like through some method you're able to get into those, but I haven't figured out how just yet. It's some kind of puzzle. Like there were some creatures around here that just took off. But the world itself does actually adapt around you. So things that happen out in nature, they happen whether or not you're there. If you just left your game on for like 40 hours straight after you reached a certain point, so after you if you reached a certain point in the story where villages were able to take over each other and attack each other or expand their own selves, then the game itself would just kind of go on without you, which I think is a really cool thing in an RPG. Now, there's only 20 hours of content from what we've been told by the developers, but I would say that overall they've got a really good baseline, and they were saying that they wanted to kind of expand on the game over time, so they didn't mind if the game wasn't really that well known right now, so that way they had more time to work with it before everybody else kind of joined in. Now, there are donation boxes outside the village. I passed one on the way in. Hey, Chief. But you can actually donate to these settlements, or you can actually talk to the traders and do it that way. He doesn't seem interested in talking to me right now, though. But we should be neutral with these guys, so we're okay there. Now, I will go back to the other location over here. Oh, good. It's finally upgraded. Okay, so as you can see on the map, some of these fortresses are marked by different tiers. So this one is a C. And like I said before, how the expansion works, like I need to go over there at some point. You can actually help with the expansion by donating certain supplies. And it looks like this one that was previously a C tier has just upgraded to a B. Let's go take a look. This is probably my favorite settlement so far. But this is called the Den's Fort. That's the chieftain right there. As you progress through the story, you are required to talk to these different chieftains as well. It just depends on which one you choose is the main thing. But this right here is where you can kind of see their progress. And once all of those bars tend to fill up, that's when the upgrades actually start happening. So you can either donate to them or talk to their merchants and trade them for stuff if you want to help progress that. Only thing to note, though, is that whenever you do actually trade stuff or donate stuff, you lose relation with other factions. So that's one thing to consider overall. So now I have the Skull Shield that I can get alongside the Knocker Raid Flare, which is going to be very good. Very, very good. Now, if I want to, let's see. So as you can see, it has to balance out. So essentially, you can't really ally with two different ones unless you're like right on the cusp. I'm trying to get there with the mountain people, but it's very hard, as you can see. Very hard to keep these guys happy and them. So after I get this recipe here, I'm probably going to start going towards the mountainous people. I'll probably just get this skull shield idea, to be honest, and worry about the other stuff later. So you have to essentially balance the stuff out with your trade. And the crash bones, let's see here. Looks like they like those. I need to balance this out a bit though, so that way, yeah, I'll take this too, because that way, the more balanced it is, the less relation you lose with other factions, which sounds weird, I know, but that's how it works. So let me go ahead and shift this a little bit more in my favor, or their favor. Give them a dull rock. That's down the middle. Oh crap, okay, hold on. What do you mean I can't? Okay, I have to take the... Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to just take the skull, I guess, then, for right now. It looks like. Okay, let me just take those crossbones back, and then they can take that. There we go. I'm all full, basically. So for the skull shield itself, I need 4 more toothstones. It's a good thing now, though, that I know where to find them easily. It looks like the swamp is a really good area for that. It looks like certain resources only grow in certain areas around the map. So I think the marl wood probably going to be most beneficial to get over here in this foresty area. And for those materials we were looking for earlier, definitely over here. And then so on and so forth. I haven't quite figured out the winter biome, but as I start exploring a little bit more, it'll come to me for sure. But anyway, yep, that is all there is to know about the game, essentially. Hopefully you decide that you want to try it at some point and give it a shot. It feels like a game that definitely feels worthy of being played at least once. So if you do give it a shot, I hope you enjoy. It's about 22 bucks on Steam, I think, but with a sale, it'll probably be around 11 bucks or something like that. 20 hours of content, though, so if you wanted to wait a while before jumping into it, that might be a good idea as well. But if you wanted to jump into it now, you could probably have a lot of fun with this. Be sure to take your time and explore everything there is to offer. Have fun with it. And thanks so much for watching, folks. That's going to be all for now. I got to get back to it. Later.